Alright, 50s and how easy it is to install. Yeah, definitely more power there. She's wheel spinning everywhere. This is genuinely the most fun e-bike you can buy today. So guys, I just got back from work and I got a package from Electro Co. This is something I ordered a little while ago, but in this box is a new motor. What we actually have here is a new mod motor for my ETM RTR. Now, why did I get the mod motor? So with this bike, I was experiencing a few issues with the temperature sensor. I ended up unplugging the temperature sensor and the bike runs great. Shout out to Kevin at Electro Co. He's been super fast getting back to me and assisting me with sorting that out. But I thought it was best to go for the new ETM high torque motor. Now, a great thing about this motor is it actually has a 30°C higher temperature limit. So I'm ripping this thing quite hard in the woods and on the trails. And obviously I'm a full-sized adult, so just thought this would be a better option. So what we're going to do today is we're going to pull out this original motor, which is buried inside the swing arm. I think it's just 2 bolts on the bottom on this side and the same on the other side. And then, yeah, I'll take you through how easy it is to install the new motor. So it actually already comes with a sprocket pre-installed. You've got your phase wires, temperature and hall sensor. It's about 6 kilograms, so it's not too heavy. So as you can see here, the motor actually bolts up using these 2 bolts inside the swing arm. So it should be nice and easy to switch this over because I've just got to undo those 2. The same on the other side and the motor will drop out. The wires are really easy to access. I'll show you that in a minute once we get started, and I'll take you through the process. And then what we'll do is afterwards, we'll head out on the bike and see if it's made much of a difference. Okay guys, so let's get on with the install. So first off, what we want to do is we want to pull the little latch to remove the seat. Take the seat out of the way. Then I'm going to go ahead and unclip the battery connections. Going to go ahead and remove this battery. Now guys, the beauty of this is that Electro Co knew people would be modding these bikes. So they've made it super easy and simple to access the back of the controller. Pull on this plate behind the controller, just clips onto the frame. So there you go, that comes loose. So I'm going to go ahead and unclip this motor connection here. And now I have to remove the green, the yellow and the blue, because those are the phase wires which go down to the motor. So here's all of our phase wires, motor connection. All that's left to do now is just to unscrew these, what look like 10mm bolts on the outside. Right, mate. They weren't very tight. Yeah. 1 bolt, 2 bolt. Okay guys, so now we've got the original motor out. The new motor in my hand here. There's a bracket on each side just to swap over onto the new motor, and then we're ready to bolt this one back into the bike. But off of initial impressions, the new motor is considerably heavier than the old one. Let's look at the serial number. ETM 60, oh yeah, so completely different serial number laid out. So obviously HT standing for high torque, but it's a lot heavier. Anyway, I'm gonna get these switched over. Okay guys, so we're out on the RTR. Might recognise this place from one of my old videos. We've got the mod motor installed, we've got the graphics from last week and the new chain. Obviously we've got the Pro Taper bars, but yeah, the mod motor is the new addition. I am looking to get the 1714 big wheel kit for this bike, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let's test out this mod motor and see what it's made of. Oh, right, so straight away I'm noticing a lot more torque down low. Oh god, it's roasting. Okay. Whoa. Alright, so there's a lot more torque despite being on the same sprocket size. The motor did come, obviously you've seen me install it, but it did come with a 9.2 front sprocket. So much more instant torque. Don't know where I'm going, can't go too crazy, buddy! Oh, this looks better. Alright, let's do a top speed run down this trail. Alright, 50 is enough, 50 is enough down there. Jeez! Turn around and run it back. Wow, the shock is so much better now that I've inflated it with the shock pump. It felt terrible before. I was sending it still, but it was harsh. And I was going to buy the upgraded shock, but this one actually feels pretty damn good now. Instantly, I'm noticing a lot more acceleration at the bottom end. Before it used to build up, now it's just got an instant spike of torque. In fact, I really can't keep the front wheel down now when I'm trying to, yeah. Oh yeah, you can't even keep the front wheel down with this motor. Now obviously, 8 kilowatts is still 8 kilowatts, so it's not like a complete transformation, but I'm probably going to say it's got I'm probably going to say it's got 25%, 30% maybe more from 0 to 25, which for you off-road guys is where you spend most of your time, especially if you're going to be riding this on a track or replacing a CRF 110 with it. Yeah, it's got a lot more pull. Let's hit this trail and see. Okay, yeah, it's actually a lot quicker. Yeah, I think 30% is a fair guess. I need to find a straight so I can test it in the medium setting. Well, I need to find a straight so I can test it in the middle of the range, power range, but, oh look, funny. But so far it's, yeah, great. It's actually much more responsive as well. Oh, it's wheeling, okay. Bump here, I remember. Okay, mid-range feels about the same. Oh my god, once it gets to 40, that was uphill. Once it gets to 40, I notice a bit more of a surge of power again. The stock tune and the stock tune and the stock motor, I'd kind of say is pretty linear, but it progresses a bit through the middle up towards the top. So the bottom is very gradual. You wouldn't be able to just rip back a wheelie from standstill, you know, where you want to get that whole shot. But yeah, I noticed a surge of power up at about 40. I'm gonna keep, oh god, see? It's so powerful down there. Perfect for the trails, man. Oh, this looks a bit tight. Do I want to go through there? What's so great about this? I don't know. Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, definitely more power there. She's wheel spinning everywhere. Oh, light work. Come on then, let's hit some trails, guys. Jump at the bottom. Do I attempt it? This is a small bike. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, took it like a champ. Just go exploring. I'm spinning everywhere. Obviously guys, we're not on Ultra B, but there's lots of roots in this forest, So I'm going to do my best, but that wheel just doesn't clear the same as the 21 does, or even the 19 on the Talaria. Awkward head. Yeah. So much less offensive on this. Oh, this is a catch light, so we'll pick it up. Alright, let's see if we can cross. Guys, I'm not just saying this, but this is genuinely the most fun e-bike you can buy today. I've had everything. Fully modded Surron Light B, fully modded Talaria Sting, fully modded Ultra B, petrol motocross bikes, quad bikes. And this is the craziest, most fun little beast I've ever had. And the only thing I'm wishing it had was a bigger battery. Let's see. 63%. But I've been out on this for a good hour now, and she's still chugging along. So I think I'm gonna do another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll head back, because I got about 10 miles to get back. But I think by the end of the day we're gonna be around 25 or so miles. But yeah. Okay guys, so we are back. We've done about 19 miles, still got 34% left. The mod motor, I've been checking on it a few times, hasn't been getting very hot to the touch. Obviously it's got a temperature sensor in it, so if it did get hot it'd be throttling back on the controller. But yeah, so far I'm really pleased with it. It's got so much power and torque. As you could see earlier, I was flying through those trails. When you're sort of, you know, below 30 miles per hour, it really has a punch. My brother Sam's just picked up this new, well, new to him, but mint condition Light B. It's got a few little upgrades on it, like prickly parts, Hope brakes and stuff. 2 batteries. He's going to be using this for the coming weeks while he waits for his 25 Ultra B to arrive. But yeah guys, so far I'm chuffed with this, and this will actually make for a very good comparison between a stock Light B and the RTR. So stay tuned for next week's video. We're going to be racing the RTR versus the standard Light B, and I also have another video coming out midweek where we're going to be reviewing my lovely new suspension on my Ultra B. I've got forks on the front that are from Technic Q EMX. They're not serious, they are Fast Ace, but they are very, very good for the money, especially seeing that Fast Ace have now developed their own seals, so the leaking problem is gone. And also we've got some lovely CNC crowns on them. But yeah guys, as always, my name's Stingy. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop me a thumbs up, leave a comment below what you think of the RTR, and as always, I'll see you next week.